Over 80% of American women are guilty of murder.
Remember when the anti-abortion movement was all about the unborn child, the bloody fetuses, the accusatory language, the religious symbols? You may not have noticed, but the movement has been repackaged.
I tried to commit suicide.
I tried to numb my pain with alcohol.
I struggled with depression.
It's very sad to see the well-being of women used as a tool to decrease the well-being of women.
But that's exactly what's happening in the new anti-choice attacks on reproductive rights.
It's a seismic shift in strategy, a carefully calculated effort to convince the public that abortion irreparably harms women.
There is no such official psychiatric diagnosis.
In fact, both the American Psychological Association and the American Psychiatric Association, two giant mainstream scientific institutions, say there is no causal link.
We are now the majority, Planned Parenthood. We, the women who you have killed our children.
This is Leslie Unruh. She runs a group called Vote Yes for Life.
There's something new that's happening. There are less kids having sex than those that are.
How does Leslie explain the first increase in teen pregnancies since 1991? She doesn't. Because Leslie created the Abstinence Clearinghouse, an organization that promises purity and...
We have a term that we call secondary virginity or renewed virginity.
Renewed virginity. Research tells us that over the past 6 years, the government has given multiple millions of tax dollars to hundreds of crisis pregnancy centers around the country. 87% provided false or misleading information about the health effects of abortion.
The purpose of this hearing...
Congressman Henry Waxman held investigations into whether Leslie's Abstinence Clearinghouse violated federal tax law and exceeded limits on lobbying by charitable organizations. Undaunted, Leslie is behind a 2008 anti-abortion initiative in South Dakota.
Oh no, it's positive. I'm pregnant.
Are you sure?
Hello?
EPT Security. We picked up a conception. Is everything all right?
No, we're pregnant.
Relax. I've notified the governor and we're sending someone right away.
But...
Who's there?
EPT Security. We're here to protect your fetus.
EPT Security. Protecting South Dakota's unborn.
Young activists defeated a No Abortion No Matter What initiative in 2006, and young people will be key if the current initiatives are to be defeated in South Dakota and Colorado. In California, Proposition 4 once again tries to force parental consent on voters who have consistently voted it down. There are ever-changing strategies that anti-choice zealots use to reignite the culture wars and divide Americans. Texas attorney Alan Parker of the Justice Foundation has gathered affidavits from women who regret having had an abortion.
We believe those affidavits are like gold. They've been refined in the fire of a woman's heart.
Parker is using them to build court cases to challenge existing federal and state abortion laws. These affidavits were cited by Justice Anthony Kennedy in his Supreme Court opinion in the case of Stenberg versus Carhart. But some women were outraged. In her dissent, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, "The majority opinion turned back the clock on women's rights by depriving women of the right to make an autonomous choice." In 2008 in Colorado, an effort is underway to make personhood begin at the moment sperm and egg make contact.
Pro-life petitioners here in Colorado are pushing to get an initiative on the November ballot.
Their plan is to end all abortion in Colorado.
Critics charge the new language is overly broad and would have ramifications beyond abortion, potentially impacting birth control and in vitro fertilization.
A fertilized egg is not a person.